gut are so closely connected.
So tied.
Right. So that's just like a physical example of that actually going on in your body, because you're nervous, your brain is anxious. And then because they're so closely connected, it's causing those symptoms in your gut
through your vagus nerve.
Right. Exactly.
We talk about, I feel it in my gut, right? Yeah. It's like, okay, well, you're thinking it. And
what does your gut say?
Yeah.
Listen, trust your gut. I mean, there are so many things that we've said and think about that we just don't, because you probably, well, I'm a 6, so I have more trouble, but you probably had those moments where something doesn't feel right and you really can, you feel it in your stomach, you feel it in your gut. So this is, once again, if you're having trouble wrapping your brain around this concept, there's some proof for you in day-to-day life that this is a thing.
Yeah. So, all right. So if we know that the friendly bacteria are good, and we know that we maybe don't have enough of them, what are some ways that we can go about rebuilding, recolonizing more of these different strains of friendly bacteria so that we can balance out and get better moods, get more dopamine, get more serotonin, and just be healthier?
Yeah. So good. So, I mean, right off the bat, number one, the simplest thing that you can do is to eat a variety of plant foods. The more variety that you have, the better for your gut bacteria, because each different strain, like you mentioned earlier, they like a different type of food and they'll grow better with it.
That's great.
So that's one simple thing. Another thing is, prebiotic. Let's talk about prebiotic versus probiotic. That's an important topic of discussion. So a probiotic is the bacteria themselves, and you can get those from taking a probiotic supplement, capsule form. You can also get that in fermented food.
Yes.
Prebiotics are the food that feeds the bacteria. It's fiber that your body doesn't break down, but it's fiber that the bacteria will break down for you when it eats it, and it helps them proliferate and grow.
They like it.
And you have to have them both, because if you're pumping probiotic or bacteria, the good stuff, into your body, but you're not feeding them, they're not going to proliferate and grow.
Do you know some examples of food names that would be prebiotic fiber?
Well, I love green banana flour, and you can add that to smoothies. I get mine off of Amazon. It's powder form. Jerusalem artichoke, or also called inulin fiber. You can get that in powder form too. Those would be like supplemental additions to food. While we're on that topic, potato starch as well.
Apopectin fiber.
Sorry?
Apopectin fiber.
Yeah. That's, I think, more of just a fiber. I don't know that would fall under prebiotic. And then if you wanted to talk about foods that you could eat for this, it would be things like asparagus, artichoke, garlic, onion. Those are all super high in prebiotic fiber.
Very good.
Yeah. So.
All right. You mentioned fermented foods. So
let's go back to that.
Let's break that down, because whenever I've said this to patients, they're like, oh yeah, I eat plenty of yogurt. Well,
what kind of yogurt are you eating?
And fermented foods, and also they think, I don't really drink much. I don't drink beer or wine so fermented foods are basically just the word we use to explain that food that are seeded with multiple types, or some cases one type, but they have many populations of bacteria.
Yeah.
Right. So fermented food would be things like sauerkraut that is been seeded with a bacterial culture, and it's safe to eat, you guys. So we need to remember that.
And but this is not like traditional sauerkraut that you would buy out of a can on the grocery shelf, because if you've added any vinegar to anything, it's no longer fermented.
Right.
So but the ingredients are the cabbage, water, salt, and then you let it sit and the bacteria eventually grow.
Yeah. And in some cases you can provide it with through whey.
Yeah, you can add things to help it grow. But anyway, go on. I didn't mean to sidetrack you.
Sauerkraut, you can buy pickles, kombucha, we can buy that in the grocery store. It's like a fizzy drink.
It's fermented
fizzy
tea.
Because of the fermented. Yes, thank you. And Kavita is another one. Just they're just different.
It's like a fermented sparkling water.
Yeah, it is, but it comes.
I've never had that.
It comes from whey. I think that's where that starts. And kombucha comes from a starter.
Gotcha.
Like apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
That's the difference, I think. Very tasty, great substitutes for pop, like in soda, if you're wanting to get off of that. It's a great way to start that.
For sure.
So yeah, I mean, these are things you have to seek out in the store
Yep.
and purposely put into your diet kimchi.